Lose yourself in a good book. The Bord Gáis Energy Book Club.
Welcome back. Reading is one of Ireland's most popular pastimes, and to celebrate this, the Bord Gáis Energy Book Club is donating libraries to charities and communities who need them most. Now, if you know of a group who could benefit from the positive impact of a library, then all you have to do is nominate them, and they could be in with a chance of getting a brand new library to the value of €1,500. Joining us now to tell us about the campaign is Emma Walsh from the Bord Gáis Energy Book Club and Deirdre Garvey from the Wheel, Ireland's representative body for charitable organisations. Good morning, ladies. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Emma, if we just start with you, explain the initiative and how it came about.
Yeah, well, actually, it came about when we originally donated a library to Barrettstown, and it's funny, Deirdre and I were talking outside, and she actually worked in Barrettstown a few years back. We donated one to celebrate the first anniversary of the Bord Gáis Energy Book Club, and it was fantastic. It was a really great thing to do, and it added a lot of value. But it was something that they wouldn't necessarily spend their own funds on. It was kind of non-essential stuff, but it added great benefit to it. And it was lovely to do. And then I look after all our books and reading programmes there. And, you know, it's very important that we listen to what information comes back to us. So we work in communities, we work with a lot of libraries and authors, and it kind of came about that people were really interested in supporting charities, communities, voluntary organisations through books. So we decided, look, wouldn't it be really nice just to give libraries or the makings of libraries to charities, communities that could use it, and maybe to places that wouldn't have the money to do it themselves, but that would get great benefit from it.
They can build and build and build and continue to build on it. It's a wonderful idea. I think it's fantastic. Who gets to pick the books?
Well,
how
that's entirely up to them, and I think that's a really important part of it, because depending on what the organisation is, they'll have a different requirement.
Yes, of course.
For example, if it's a children's youth club or an after-school club, then it'll be books relative to them. We'll provide loads of support in that. I know my books, and we have loads of experts that'll give them a hand with that. It could be that it's a charity that has a medical side to it, and they want to get maybe more expensive medical books, so we'll certainly give them a hand with that. So we want the books to be of benefit to them. So
now, you're not just going to do this once.
No, we're going to do it 3 times a year.
Brilliant.
Continuously.
So in that sense, you could maybe have these organisations linking up with each other and swapping books and mixing and matching books for different communities.
There's so much potential. It's fantastic. And I think once you start by putting in a library, you find a lot of people will say, well, oh, I'd love to donate some second-hand books to the library, or I'd love to purchase a couple of books to give you to the library. People really get on board with these things. So
which is all very positive and all very laudable, and I think it's going to be a huge success because it's a win-win for everyone. So, Deirdre, tell us a little bit about the Wheel for people who might not know what the Wheel is.
Yeah, we're a charity ourselves, and our mission in life is to help charities and community groups just get their work done as best and as efficiently as they possibly can. So we're a national organisation. We've been around for 12 years, and we have almost 1,000 members, large and small, local and national, all around the country. And we're for effective, professionally run charities, regardless of whether they be staffed or volunteered. So we're really championing the cause of charities in Ireland today. And I have to say, we're an absolute fan of this initiative. It ticks all the buttons, as you said there. It's a win-win situation, and certainly now charities, community groups, local clubs and associations, they're really feeling the pinch.
Yes, everybody's fighting that battle, and it's hard to squeeze out that extra euro out of people.
Absolutely,
when they don't have it. But this is enduring, and it can be added to, and it can be, as we said, maybe libraries can mix and match around the country, which would be
absolutely. This will be of real interest for organisations that have a building, like a clubhouse or a community centre. And as Emma says, whether it be children or teenagers or adults with literacy issues, you know, the concept of a library, it acts as a hub, not just the libraries in our, you know, the everyday libraries that we know in our communities, but a library in a building, it acts as a sort of a focal point. It brings people together. Not only does it improve, you know, the stories are interesting to read, but it actually acts as a focal point. It builds cohesion in a group on top of everything else. And we really think that this is a real asset, because that's what community groups and charities do within a community. So it sort of brings that sort of a community connectedness, I guess, inside the building of the community centre, and we think that it's a real added value. I think what's really interesting, actually, what Emma said about the thing with Barrettstown is that whilst it wasn't frontline essential needs for Barrettstown to buy that book club, and you know they were spending their money very carefully on the frontline issues, the added value that the library brought it was immeasurable in the organisation. So we certainly see that with the members that we have, is that in these straitened times, spending money it's a very tough decision. Every single thing has to be parsed very carefully. But a gift of a library like this, and particularly the expertise to choose the right books,
and it doesn't impact on your budget
is really,
at all.
it doesn't impact on the bottom line, and it adds a load of extra value to organisations out there.
Hugely so. And I suppose one of the good things about opening a book and as I say, getting lost in a book and enjoying it, there's also the other side that if you can encourage people to read to groups, some people have the ability to bring a story alive. They can voice the characters, they can read it. And for younger children, that's a beauty to watch, and it gives them a huge interest and an entry level into reading.
You can really foster a passion from a very early age, and I think that's the power of books, and that's something we're really keen to promote. Is books, they don't just entertain, they can reveal, they can inspire, they can motivate, they can reassure. If you're worried about something, it's great to read. It's great to read about somebody else's experience if it might match or reflect your own. If you're going through something, you know, there's a book there, somebody else going through the same thing as you, so there's limitless possibilities. And whilst books may not be the number one essential for somebody, they'll definitely be a
some of the
help
best books
and a
are books
benefit.
about books anyway. I mean, there's that to be said as well. How do people go about entering this now?
Well, if people go on to the Bord Gáis Energy Book Club, so it's bordgaishenergybookclub.ie, we want everybody to make a nomination. So just nominate a charity that you feel passionately about, a community group that's local to you, anybody you think would really benefit from having books in their business, books in their life, books in their organisation.
Just everyone really.
Yeah, and
everyone.
they can nominate throughout the year, and then we have a great judging panel who are going to help decide who the recipients are, and lovely Sinead has agreed to help us out.
Excellent
so,
stuff.
Yeah,
We'll put full
happy.
details on our website as well.
Brilliant.
On our Facebook
Thank
page.
you.
Indeed. Thank you very much for coming in, and best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, David.
Now, don't forget, Strumpet City is the Bord Gáis Energy Book Club choice for April. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning a stylish BlackBerry playbook, then simply send your review of this classic to us here at Ireland AM. Reviews should be no longer, this is the tricky bit I think, than 50 words, and should reach us by Friday the 26th of April. They should be emailed to irelandam@tv3.ie or sent by post to Bord Gáis Energy Book Club, TV3, Westgate Business Park, and that's in Ballymount in Dublin 24. And you can also enter through our website, tv3.ie/book club.
Lose yourself in a good book. The Bord Gáis Energy Book Club.